Royal shocker. Princess Leonor marries Christian, tears, smiles, and crowns. The crown was never meant to share its heart. But it did. With him. And nothing in Spain will ever be the same. It was a morning like any other in Madrid. Quiet, regal, predictable. Until one sentence, whispered from palace walls to global headlines, shattered the calm. Princess Leonor has married Christian of Denmark. No grand cathedral, no televised ceremony, no royal fanfare, just vows, spoken softly, between two of Europe's most watched heirs. The future Queen of Spain and the Crown Prince of Denmark, officially united. And the world is still catching its breath. This wasn't a fairy tale, it was something far rarer. Real. But how did we get here? How did two young royals, born into different crowns, raised in different languages, and trained for completely separate thrones, find each other and choose love over legacy? It started, as many royal stories do, with duty. Leonor, born October 31, 2005. From the moment she took her first breath, her destiny was written in stone. Spain's first queen regnant in centuries. Every step watched, every word weighed. A symbol, a hope, a living embodiment of the Spanish crown's modern future. Christian, born October 15, 2005. The Danish heir, calm, reserved, the picture of Nordic composure. Raised under the careful eye of Crown Prince Frederick and Crown Princess Mary. A royal with impeccable lineage, yet almost invisible outside Denmark, until now. Their paths crossed quietly, no announcement, no royal matchmaking, just proximity, Olympic events, diplomatic functions, shared moments behind velvet ropes. And then, one unexpected summer. A youth summit in Geneva. Both were present, neither expected the other. A simple hello, a long conversation over coffee. And something shifted. Not romance, not yet, just recognition. Two lives shaped by duty. Two young people who understood what it meant to belong to a nation before they belonged to themselves. Their connection deepened, secretly, slowly. Over 2 years, their friendship grew in the spaces protocol couldn't reach. Private messages, occasional meetings, carefully planned, highly protected, always on the edge of exposure. Letizia was the first to notice. She'd seen Leonor smile before. But never like this. There was something different, lighter, happier, and more dangerous. Because with happiness, came risk. And the Spanish royal house doesn't take risks lightly. When Christian visited Madrid privately in early spring, it was not as a suitor. Not officially, but as a guest of state. Still, those within the palace knew the truth. He wasn't visiting Spain, he was visiting her. Queen Letizia was wary. She had sacrificed her own career, her own identity, to step into royalty. She knew the cost of falling in love with a crown. And she feared her daughter was walking too close to that fire. King Felipe, however, saw it differently. His marriage had once defied royal expectations. And he remembered what it was like to fight for love. He saw Christian not as a threat, but as a possibility. But still, marriage. It was unthinkable. Not now. Not yet. Then came the summer in Majorca. A brief retreat, far from cameras, far from whispers. And it was there, surrounded by nothing but sea and sky, that Leonor made her choice. She told her parents, calmly, decisively, she was marrying Christian, not someday, now, not as queen, not as heir, but as Leonor. The palace froze. Advisors panicked. Legal teams scrambled. This was unprecedented. A sitting heir marrying another royal heir. It risked future constitutional complications. International speculation. Press frenzy. But she didn't ask for permission. She informed them. The wedding was planned in secret. A private chapel in southern Spain. 22 guests. No media. No royals beyond immediate family. No tiaras. No titles. Just a promise, between two people, to love without condition. The dress. Simple. Timeless. Designed by a Spanish artisan, with subtle embroidery inspired by Queen Sophia's wedding gown. Christian wore no medals. Just a navy suit and a quiet confidence. As Leonor walked toward him, every eye in the room blurred with tears. Not because of grandeur, but because of gravity. This was Spain's future. Choosing love. Choosing him. When they said their vows, first in Spanish, then in Danish, it wasn't a performance. It was defiance. Of tradition. Of politics. Of everything that had told them they couldn't be more than pawns in a centuries-old game. Letizia wept quietly. Felipe stood, stoic but proud. And when they kissed, the silence in the chapel spoke louder than 1,000 royal orchestras. And then, they vanished. No press conference. No palace balcony. No official portraits. Just a handwritten note released days later. We thank those who know and understand. We chose love, freely. We remain committed to our countries, our families, and each other. Leonor and Christian. The world went into a frenzy. Was this an official union between royal houses? Would their children inherit both thrones? Was this the beginning of a dual monarchy? The legal answer: no. Their titles remain separate. Their duties, for now, distinct. But emotionally, symbolically, this changed everything. In Spain, some celebrated. The youth, especially, hailed Leonor as the modern queen they'd hoped for. A woman who made her own choices. Who balanced tradition with heart. In Denmark, opinion was split. Christian's popularity surged, but so did scrutiny. Would he abandon Denmark if called to Madrid? Would his loyalties shift? Palace insiders rushed to clarify: no political implications. No claims to each other's thrones. But the questions remained. And with each question, new ones emerged. Will Leonor ascend the throne as queen with Christian at her side? Will they raise children in Madrid or Copenhagen? Will this love story survive the relentless machinery of monarchy? What's undeniable is this: something rare has happened. A royal marriage that wasn't arranged. That wasn't strategic. That wasn't filtered through centuries of political agendas. It was love. Pure. Brave. Unstoppable. Now, months later, life continues. Leonor has resumed royal duties. Christian, too, represents Denmark with quiet strength. But when they appear together, hand in hand, glance to glance, the world sees not just royals, but humans. Two people who could have followed the script, but chose to write their own. In a time where trust in monarchies wavers, this moment brought something rare: authenticity. Vulnerability. Love with crowns, but without ego. There were tears. There were smiles. And yes, there were crowns. But above all, there was a reminder. Even behind centuries-old traditions, even beneath weighty titles, even surrounded by gold and power, the heart still decides. And on that day, it chose Princess Leonor, Prince Christian, the couple who made history pause, not with power, but with love.